Hello, everyone. This is Howard Fox, and welcome back for another episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast, where we celebrate individuals and families, businesses, and organizations that seek out and promote the exploration, stewardship, conservation, access, and enjoyment of the outdoors. Lisa Anders is our guest today. Lisa is the COO of Explore Gwinnett. Lisa, it's a pleasure to have you on the podcast. Welcome.
Thanks, Howard. Thank you for inviting me. I'm looking forward to chatting about all things to do.
And I have to say, you have your hands full. I mean, as a COO.
Yeah, but I'm really fortunate because I have a job that I absolutely love. My anniversary was last week. It's my 29th year in the industry.
Wow.
So all the things Explore Gwinnett is the overall tourism organization for Gwinnett County and all of its cities. But all these other organizations, the Film Office, the Sports Commission, and the Creativity Fund have all germinated from tourism. Arts has become such a draw for our visitors in our downtowns. Sports has become such a tournament generator, which is drawing visitors. And then, of course, TV and film. A lot of people realize that Georgia is one of the top hubs in the world for filming. And so we've really positioned ourselves as the place to film when they come to Atlanta. And there's a lot of TV shows and films that come to Atlanta.
Okay. Now, I have to say, I would never have guessed that, but perhaps before our episode is over, you'll tease us with, well, if you ever watch this show, it's right here.
Got a few shows for y'all.
All right. That's good. Now, one thing I want to acknowledge, you said you've been in this industry 29 years. I have never met anyone that was in the tourism industry managing a convention and visitor bureau or a destination organization that is not said, I have the perfect job. I've never met anybody that said anything other than that. And it makes
Um,
me a little envious, by the way.
it's true. I went to school at University of Tennessee. My first job I ever had when I was 16, I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee, is the Chattanooga Choo Choo that a lot of people know about, which is a big tourist destination in Chattanooga. But after I graduated from college, I moved to Atlanta and I started working in the hotel industry, which is a huge part of obviously the tourism ecosystem. But I will tell you that I figured out really quickly that was not the place that I wanted my career to be. Like frontline operations, I knew I would have the same problem day after day after day after day. I worked with some great people, but I knew that there was a different angle of the tourism industry that I wanted to pursue. So a great mentor of mine helped me get my foot in the door. And from there, I mean, I started in this position as an admin assistant 29 years ago, handling the bookkeeping aspect. I was ill equipped to do either one of those roles. But I knew that I just wanted to get my foot in the door and move into really the communications and the community development and the economic development. And those are all the things that I've kind of aspired to do and have our organization do as we've grown really exponentially over those last few decades as well.
Okay. I just a quick shout out. You mentioned Chattanooga. So I am a member of the Outdoor Writers Association of America. That's how I started to really hone in on destination marketing organizations because we use those destinations to help us plan and execute our annual conferences and our regional conferences. And this year, and I think it's August, our national conference is going to be in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Well, you are, and I am completely biased because it's my hometown, but I go there quite a bit still. And I have a lot of friends there. It is a fantastic, fantastic city. Um, like so much to do, but really their story of where they came from, which was a city that was in environmental crisis in
Mhm.
the 1970s. It was one of the most polluted cities in the United States.
Oh, wow.
And they have turned it into an eco hub, utilizing the river, utilizing the mountains, creating a trail system. super walkable downtown. I mean, this podcast isn't about Chattanooga, but I'm a huge fan. It's a great town.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's great, and you can't help but love your hometown. And I mean, I grew up in Detroit, and Detroit, probably like Chattanooga, has had its share of negative press. But when I go back home, I go back to the right downtown D, and so have
I
to
went to a
take it all in.
conference in Detroit about 3 years ago and had a great time, and downtown Detroit was so much different than I expected in all good ways. Like, we had
Yeah,
a great time.
good, good. Well, here's to our hometowns. I love it.
Yes.
So let's talk about Gwinnett. Now, you are in the what is it safe to say the shadows of Atlanta?
We prefer not to call it the shadows. We call it we are a part of what is known as Metro Atlanta. Atlanta, the city, is really downtown and midtown Atlanta, and what we
Mhm,
call inside the perimeter. There's
mhm.
a highway, Highway 285.
I remember
It
that, yeah.
encircles the city. Anything inside the perimeter is considered in the city, and
Mhm.
anything outside that perimeter is considered the suburbs, essentially. So we're
Okay.
a northeastern suburb of Atlanta, about 30 minutes on a normal travel day, no guarantees. We do have our share of traffic.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and our highway access is you can go 285 or 85, which goes directly from downtown straight into Gwinnett County. So it's a very accessible, easy drive, even if you're in downtown Atlanta.
Okay. So how have you, with the work within, Explore Gwinnett and in the county, how have you set your sights on being this tourism destination for so many elements, the arts, the travel, the sports. What's that evolution been like? And who are the folks that are coming in? I mean, they're gonna say, "Hi, Atlanta." I mean, I take the train, the subway train from the airport because I don't wanna drive drive because I've been through Atlanta once, and I had to back up on the freeway because I missed an exit. Not a smart thing to do. Uh, however, folks are flying in perhaps to I forget the name of the airport, but how are y'all coming in and saying, "Hi, Atlanta, we're going up to Gwinnett County and in your communities." What are they coming for? What are the experiences they're coming to pay a visit and spend money on?
Yeah, I mean, we do have a lot of people who fly into Hartsfield Airport. That's our airport, which is a huge bit. It's the busiest airport in the world, which is why some people definitely try to avoid it. We don't get our feelings hurt. We know traffic is a thing in Atlanta. Um, so we have a major convention center in our area. So we get a lot of our conference attendees and convention attendees flying in. I will say a huge amount of our visitors in terms of like leisure visitors are primarily driving, not all of them, but a lot of them are driving in. Our big kind of regional draw areas are Greenville and that South Carolina MSA. We get a lot from Middle Georgia, Macon, Georgia. We get a tremendous amount of traffic from Birmingham. Our number one, like non regional visitation market is interestingly New York City and the
Really?
New York MSA. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that that is a lot of our international travel. We are the largest Korean home for Korean natives who have moved into Atlanta. They have kind of found their place in Duluth and in Swanee, two of our cities. So we have a really thriving kind of cultural community, primarily for Korean residents and visitors. So we get, I mean, I'll talk a little bit more about it. I mean, it's evidenced in our food, in some of our nightlife. A lot of our retail is all around Korean dining, Korean beauty, Korean music and culture. So that's a big draw for us. That's where our New York market comes from.
Okay.
Uh, but it's interesting because as a convention and visitors bureau, you really, really typically only market out of market. You're not marketing locally. But it's so interesting because a lot of the things that we do are probably a little bit different. And a lot of our sort of branches of our organization that have grown out between the arts, between film, sports, all those things have come because we really have started to market locally and internally. We have a huge community. We have 1,000,000 residents. Gwinnett County is a really large area. It's like 467 square miles. That's pretty darn big for a county. And we kind of realized that people who lived here didn't necessarily realize all the things that you could do here because people kind of get in a little cocoon of their own town or their own city, and they
Sure.
don't necessarily know what's going on 20 miles down the road. So we really started trying to educate people and market and promote even locally because you kind of realize Atlanta has a tremendous amount of visiting friends and family traffic. And if I live in Gwinnett and someone is coming to visit me and they're like, "Hey, what do you want to do?" I might be like, "Well, there's nothing to do here. Let's go downtown." Just because you don't really take the time to learn about it. So that's one of the things that we've done through our marketing team, especially is educating our locals on all the things there is to do. So we have like a comprehensive calendar of events that pulls from every single venue, every single music performance hall, every special event, every festival, so that people actually have a place to go and know what there is to do on any given weekend. Letting people know about the arts opportunities here. There's not there's not like one leading arts council. So we've sort of become that because we're the ones who are putting the word out there about funding opportunities or grant opportunities to help these arts groups grow, but also what they're doing, what the exhibits are, what the venues are, and all that sort of thing. So that's kind of been a little bit of our strategy is not just working on our visitors from Birmingham or New York or the other places, but making sure that our million people who live here are our very best destination ambassadors because they're proud of what's going on here and they know what's going on here.
I love that word, destination ambassador, and it's they're the folks on the street who are gonna be helping their neighbor for that matter. "Hey, where's a good place for a cup of coffee?" Or "Go go take a walk in the park and do some fishing or do some photography," and
Yeah.
you ask your neighbor, and it's like, "Oh, I didn't even know that existed." So I
That
love
is a
that.
big thing for us. And that's why, like, with our all of our initiatives that we're doing, we're actually getting ready in about 3 weeks. We will be doing one of our really most popular initiatives is called Gwinnett Burger Week.
Mm.
And it's a celebration of we have 25 participating restaurants and we ask them to create a $10 burger that is not on their menu. It has to be absolutely custom. It's like a best of. So you get these burgers that are about 3 feet high, full of, I mean, they might have macaroni and cheese and collard greens and waffles. And I mean, they do some crazy burgers and it's hugely popular. And we have a Burger Week Hall of Fame where we ask if people do check-ins for it. And we ask them, hey, if you go to 10 burgers, now granted, Burger Week's 7 days. If you eat 10 burgers in 7 days, you get to be on the Burger Wall of Fame. And we had 3 dozen people do that last year.
Oh, wow.
And then they received a prize. But the point of that is we really focus on we only let small or independent restaurants participate because with all due respect to a chain restaurant, they're going to be fine. But what we really want is a local authentic experience. So whether it's like a visitor or a resident, if it's a resident, they're going to spread the word. And if it's a visitor, they're going to come back and be like, wow, I had that amazing burger at B&W Burgers on their rooftop bar in downtown historic Norcross. Like it kind of creates the story and helps create the story
Mhm.
instead of, yeah, I had a killer burger at O'Charlie's. No offense to O'Charlie's, they have great food, but you're gonna do
Well
fine without our burger week. Some of these
well,
other restaurants, it's their busiest week of the year.
wow. I It sounds phenomenal. I'm a big cheeseburger kinda guy. I think I could do some damage there, so that's
Well,
good to
March
know.
17th through 23rd, come on down and we
Alri
will invite you to eat some burgers.
alright, I love it. So I'm curious, we are the Outdoor Adventure Series.
Yeah.
What take away the golf course because that's an obvious to get out into nature and just open space. What are the outdoor activities that are available to the residents that are coming into the county? And that because they just want to get off the pavement and enjoy some nature.
There are so many choices, and one of the best ways and also the most affordable ways, which everybody loves, is we have a park system that Gwinnett County Parks and Recreation that's been named the number one park system in the United States multiple times. It's kind of amazing. We have almost 50 parks in Gwinnett County, and we have parks whether you want to be outside playing bocce ball, you want to do disc golf, you want to hike, if you want to equestrian, if you're an equestrian, or if you're a mountain biker, if you want to swim, if you literally whatever outdoor activity is, there is a park that does that. Some of the hiking trails I think are really some of the best I mean, if you look online, Gwinnett County parks are typically always recommended for a lot of their hiking. I mean, we've got ones that like Yellow River Park, which is over in the kind of Stone Mountain Lilburn area, close to Stone Mountain Park, which a lot of people know. Not technically in Gwinnett County, but it borders us. So we send a lot of visitors there, but they have a 12-mile trail there, and then you've got a river. So there's water features. You're walking. I mean, it's not like a 3,000 feet incline, but you're going up 1,000 feet. So it's an intermediate hike. They've got like a 12-mile loop there, but you can mountain bike there. You can, like I said, ride horses. But they also have a paved trail there so that there's an accessibility factor for people who have like mobility issues or even if they have kids in strollers. And that's one of the things that we love because we get a lot of questions from our guests like, what are the accessibility options if I'm utilizing a walker or whatever? So they've got both aspects, and the parks take that into consideration a lot. Another really good one that we recommend is we have an attraction actually called the Gwinnett Environmental and Heritage Center, and it's a science museum and like an environmental museum that is located in Beaufort, which is North Gwinnett County, up by the Mall of Georgia, if you've ever heard of that. And it's a great place to take kids, especially under maybe 10 years old, very affordable, hands-on experience there. But then they also have a huge, gorgeous hiking trail system, and they have a 5-mile loop that's great for families, great for kids. And then their newest addition there is a sensory tree house. So if you've got someone with any kind of mobility or disability and they can't do the 5-mile loop, they have like a elevated walkway that's about 350 feet with this huge high hanging hammock. They do like a Blue Planet movie up there, and they have a viewing and an activity platform. So even if you're in a wheelchair or you're on the autism spectrum, they have they have an opportunity for anyone who's visiting. So
I
we
love
like when
that.
everybody's kind of got options for everyone, regardless of what stage in life they're at.
I love that. And I really appreciate and one of when we did our intro to this episode, I always mention access. And that's a big deal because you have people who need a little more assistance or or a lot of assistance. And it sounds like you have really addressed that through the offerings in the park of the various experiences inside the county. I would love if we could, if you would indulge us with a tour of your website. And I know we are going to be inviting an associate of yours kind of help navigate for us. So hopefully you're open to doing that and sharing the best that Gwinnett has to offer. And with the miracle of technology, Cameron Trice has just joined us. Cameron, you want to take yourself off of mute. And the further wonderful things about technologies, I'm now going to share my screen. Cameron, how are you
Thank
doing
you.
today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. All right, I am sharing my screen. See, don't you just love it? There it is. There's the website. So let's take us on a little test drive there. Kick the tires. Where should we go?
They when for planning your trip, I definitely would start with going to explore over to the left,
Okay.
and then that can sort and you can go through the cities, whatever city you're going to, or also the Gwinnett guides. I find those very helpful.
Okay. Let's click on
Um,
those. Food.
and
I love it. Oh,
yes, absolutely.
by the way, I
Um,
have to share, Lisa, when you mentioned Korean, I now realize what you meant when you filled out the show notes for me, the soul of the South. I
Correct.
just thought it was a typo. I get
No.
it. Okay, I love that. Alright,
yes,
so
so these
Gwinnett
are
guides.
some of the Gwinnett guides. And then if you scroll all the way down to, you can sign up for the Gwinnett Visitor magazine, which is very helpful on that. It does a great job of showcasing the attractions, but also all the unique stories behind them.
Oh, wow.
And so if you're one of those, if you'd like to have a printed guide, those are um, always very helpful. And then to learn more about if we want to go to the Soul of the South food tour,
Am
um,
I going up or where am I
yes,
going?
sorry. Yes, go
Okay,
up. And then you can go to food and drink.
that's another. By the way, I imagine there's some really good coffee shops somewhere in Gwinnett County.
Oh, definitely.
I'm a
So they,
coffee guy, so I have to have it. Alright, look at that.
yes, this kind of is your guide to all the Korean culture in Gwinnett. And then there is the Soul of the South food tour, but you can also find a list of just some of the attractions that they stop at and
Okay,
do your own DIY Soul of the South tour.
but
Yeah.
okay, very nice. Wow. I mean, I love good Korean barbecue, so I like would be all over this. Alright, very
And
good.
then since we talked about Gwinnett Beer Week, you can find that under events
Yeah,
or to the right,
It's under
under,
drink.
events.
oh, under food and drink.
Or there's burger, yeah, you can find it there too. Burger Week, that's where
There we
you
go.
can find all the delicious restaurants and specially crafted burgers.
Oh god, hamburgers. Who was the cartoon that used to, Popeye the Sailor and Wimpy always needed his cheeseburger? This is me. Alright, I love this. So map out your Burger Week stops. So there's the county. So these are the towns: Lawrenceville, Buford, Duluth, Norcross, Peachtree Corner. I remember Peachtree Corners, that brings a bell. Okay, I know I've been there.
Yeah, we have not every single city has we have actually 17 cities in Gwinnett County, believe it or not.
Yeah,
Um, some of them a lot bigger than others. So we have 6 or 7 cities that have participating restaurants.
okay. Hey, quick question, I noticed there's a body of water here. Is this a bordering Gwinnett County, in Gwinnett County?
It borders us. That's Lake Lanier that
Oh,
everybody's heard of. It's not in Gwinnett County, but it's not far away. So we have a lot of visitors who will stay in Gwinnett County. There's not a lot of accommodations on the island. There's a couple of resort accommodations. So a lot
okay,
of times people may stay in Gwinnett a little more value oriented in terms of price and they drive up there 30 or 45 minutes. And there's actually a beach at Lake Lanier Island where you can get a day pass and spend the day on the beach and at the lake. They also have a water park. They've got a lot of activities. So it's a great day trip from Gwinnett. We have a lot of visitors who go up there for the day.
okay, very good. Oh my god, I am so hungry right now. I think I'm gonna go have a hamburger for dinner. But,
Yeah, as I meant, these are not insubstantial burgers, as you can tell by these images.
not at all, and of course, they have me at bacon because I see bacon on a couple of those. But, wonder so what's your, Lisa, what's your favorite? Would any one of these kinda stand out for you, or you don't wanna play favorites? I mean,
I'm
you're in the
not
b
a diplomat. I'm a burger fan, I will say, but I'm a little bit less is more. I like a gray burger that's got, like, a fried egg and mushrooms on it.
yeah,
That would be a very basic burger during burger week, however. Like I
okay.
said, as you could tell by some of them, they have, all sorts of creations on there.
I love it, I love it. I like they have the little, what do you call the stamp, on the bun. I love that. Okay, Cameron, I'm sorry. I kinda do very direct tangents when it comes to food. I mean,
Oh, yeah, just it's easy to get distracted by the burgers.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I coach, I podcast, and then I food. Those are things, and
You'll
I
have
sit too much. That's the other downside of my
you'll have to
well,
come one year and join the Burger Week Wall of Fame and
there you
map out all
go.
your stops.
There you go. Okay, so where's next?
Well, then, speaking of just from week long celebrations, if you go back under food and drink, you can find Gwinnett Beer Week, which is another week long celebration of the Gwinnett breweries and craft
Oh,
beer
nice.
scene.
Ooh,
And
nice, art there. I like that.
yes, it's a lot of fun. They had really cool activities. They've had axe throwing. They've had barks and brews where you bring your dog. So yeah, everyone looks forward to it every year. Dog Olympics, and then just a bunch of different activities happening each night.
Okay, very cool. Dog Olympics, I love that, and axe throwing. I don't know if
That
you
was
want me to have
terrible.
a beer doing that. No. Okay. Excellent. Great logo. I love this. This whoever came up with this one here, that's nice. That's very nice. So what would you say is there like a beer that's being brewed inside Gwinnett County that's like if you come to Gwinnett County, you gotta have this beer? Is there something like that? Or is there a bar? Again, I don't wanna put anybody on the spot, but if I was gonna say you're gonna go visit Chicago, which is where I was living before Las Vegas, I'd say go to Hop Leaf, which is up in the northern neighborhood in the city because they have a huge Belgian beer selection. Is
Right.
there a place here that enjoy them all, but you gotta go to one place?
Yes, I really recommend Good Word Brewing, which is located in downtown Duluth. They Good Word Brewing. If you move up, it's that one. And they hold 3 beer festivals every year.
Okay.
They hold a Little Beer Festival, which is a celebration of bloggers,
Mhm.
Bon Festival, and then they're doing a Puerto Rican beer festival this year. The owners of Good Word actually came from, if you've ever heard of Brickstore Pub in Atlanta,
Mhm.
it's been named one of the top 10 breweries in the United States. They came from the world of Brickstore, and they create a tremendous amount of beer. They can a lot of beer, and they do collaborations with other regional and national breweries all the time. And I'm a lager girl, and a lot of times you go to a brewery and you maybe wish you had a Stella because you don't really love the beer, but you love the vibe sometimes in a
Right.
brewery. But a Good Word, honestly, I like their beer more than anything else you would get off the shelf. And they do so many interesting beers, but they do a lot of IPAs, they do a lot of light beers, but their owner has Puerto Rican roots. So he just did a Puerto Rican Pilsner that I bought a 6-pack of, or actually 4-pack of when I was there last time. So Good Word is kind of our go-to. It's just also has a great vibe, and it's a full restaurant, and it's in the heart of downtown Duluth, which is just a really thriving downtown. So
Wow.
that's kind of we love all of our breweries, but they kind of got a special place and think that they're really a leading brewery in Atlanta.
Fantastic. Well, I have to add that to my list, after the burger itself. So, perfect. Okay. Cameron, anywhere else that so I see meetings and conventions, I get that. Film. Okay, so now's the time. What are let's see, filmed in Gwinnett. If I go there, can I go there?
Yes, it will show
Uh,
you all the
okay,
productions that have taken place in Gwinnett
okay.
and
Reasonable Doubt, Teacup, Fight Night, Naked Gun reboot, Tulsa King.
Yeah,
Uh,
these are actually just this is just a sampling of what is filmed in Gwinnett right now in 2025. We actually have 3 movie studios in Gwinnett County.
mhm,
So we are currently the home to Will Trent, which is a really popular show on ABC.
okay,
It's in season 3. We are the home of Tulsa King, Sylvester Stallone's show, which is the Taylor Sheridan show. Used to be filmed in Oklahoma. It's now filmed in Atlanta, and we
wow.
do majority of their filming here. We're the home of Grosse Pointe Garden Society. We're filming a new miniseries called The Murdaugh Murders
Mhm.
after the Alec Murdaugh murder situation.
Oh, yeah,
We are uh, also filming with Reasonable Doubt. And we're also have another film or miniseries coming up, Cape Fear, which was based on that original Robert De Niro movie.
oh, yeah,
So we have a lot of either miniseries or streaming shows that film here. We do a lot of films, but we
okay,
also do a lot of streaming TV shows. Our studios that are here, we have 2 studios. One of them is named Eagle Rock, and it actually is the largest TV production studio under one roof in the United States.
okay,
And then we have a film studio called OFS, and it is actually the home of the largest green screen in the world, which is on the
okay.
back lot of the studio. And that's where Black Panther 1 and Black Panther 2 were filmed. That's where a lot of the road scenes from Fast and Furious were filmed. When
Okay.
you think that you're in Rio de Janeiro, they were not. They were actually on a back lot in
I
Atlanta.
I would never have known that. Oh my
Yeah, and then
gosh.
we have actually a shopping mall that's actually closed now, but we use it for filming, and it was actually Starcourt Mall, which was the, mall that was featured in Stranger Things for their entire
Mm,
season 3. So, we have filming we do about 300 location shoots every year.
wow.
So, it's very, very busy.
I mean, that is bringing in as I know a favorite saying of, destinations is heads in beds and cash register singing. I mean, that's definitely happening, especially with not just the tourism and the visitors coming in, the local tourism, but the film and the TV, that is a huge draw of dollars into
Well, one
the
of the things that we really like about it, because it definitely supports the film and TV world, is very much a shop local and support local industry. So you will see them supporting like a local hardware company when they go buy the wood to build the stages. And that is no small feat. It's gigantic 20,000 square foot stages and scenes that they're building. But also, we do there's a lot of security and a lot of road work and traffic control involved with filming. And that's giving our public service officers, like our police, a lot of off duty work that is a
mhm,
great advantage to them. So we had the TV show Ozark filmed here
mhm.
for many years. And we got an official location manager mug from working with
Oh,
them so much.
alright. Now, by
And
the way, we're gonna have to share that when we come off of the video. That way you can make that front and center. I would never have guessed that. I was a big Ozark fan. I
yeah,
think it's very
Ozark
cool.
films here nonstop for 5 seasons. They have just a fantastic crew, but the average spend of 1 season of a TV show like that locally or regionally within the state is about $30 million.
Wow.
So it's great business across multiple industries.
Okay.
But we're always working to get new locations. So a lot of what we do is not just working with a locations team, but we work with our residents and our stores and our public service facilities, any building that we think might work for filming, any park that might work for filming. We will take location photography of it. We will put it into the location databases, really educating people on how filming works. A lot of times people think, "Oh, I'm in a database. They're going to call me tomorrow." They might call you tomorrow and they might call you never.
Right.
So we really try to educate people on here's here's how it works, and if they do call you, here's the process. Here's what you're going to do, and here's what we recommend that you do. And just make sure that everybody within our cities and our counties and our police and our fire and all the people who have to get engaged in a production, we're all on the same page so that everything goes super smoothly and that filming is a very smooth process when they're in Gwinnett County. And that's
I
something that
love it.
we've had a lot of success with our partners have been great.
I love it. I love it. Cameron, before we head back, go stop sharing any last destination here on the website you'd like to take us to?
And well, there's the meeting and conventions tab that, and then also the weddings tab.
I wouldn't know
The
about weddings. Sorry. I
Cameron,
used to be a wedding
yeah,
photographer. It's one of
Cameron, would you show the calendar of events page? Because
yes, that's
that's
it.
a good one for our visitors.
this one here.
Yes. And
Okay.
then also you can click on event calendar, but also you could go to this weekend. So if you were just visiting and trying to figure out what was going on, but you can put your dates in here. And this is super helpful. You can really narrow it down for what you're looking for, whether it's arts and culture, um, brewery events.
Nice.
Um, yeah. So, and then you can also filter it down by location too. So where you're staying. But yeah,
Okay.
there's
I have
plenty to
found
do.
in our interviews, having a really good event calendar is incredibly effective because now I know this is going on in my county, city, and hey, let's do this today. So get you out of the house and and some of these are going to be paid, some of these are going to be free, I would imagine, and so something for everybody.
And then
Very nice.
last thing, if you go back up
Okay.
uh, to the things to do tab, I think,
Okay.
then you can find your list of like outdoor and adventure or and it'll have some of the blogs and guides, and you can go to arts and entertainment and culture. But then here you can also filter it down by the destination or what you're looking for, whether it's a dog park or if you're looking to go fishing or what disc golf and whatever it
Okay.
may be, you can filter that down and find it here.
Very nice. Well, this is a lot to offer, and I think our visitors to the website can spend a fair amount of time. They can get the guides and just a really cool location. And it's like, who knew? Look at this gentleman is very happy here. I can get used to this, but I have to have a cup of coffee and a chair. Just
Well,
to,
if you look at that location, if you remember the scene in Ozark where the FBI officer is fly fishing in the middle of the river,
yeah.
you're looking at it right there. That's where they filmed it.
Oh wow, very
Yeah, it's the
cool.
Chattahoochee River. There's great fly fishing over
Wait, isn't
there
there a song
on the
way
slope.
down yonder on the Chattahoochee, something like that? I don't know.
You can
All
fly
right,
fish, and we also have tubing as well, where people can go down the Chattahoochee on like inner tubes, which is just a really affordable, nice way for a family to get out.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
this
a
is
lot of
very
fun,
cool.
especially with the Atlanta heat in the summer, and it's nice. Everyone will tie their tubes together, and the Atlanta locals call it "shoot the hooch."
I've
So,
heard that before. Shoot the hooch. I've heard
yeah,
that.
we
Okay.
really enjoy it. It's
All
fun.
right.
It'll be great.
Okay. So normally I would do this like right after the episode is over, and I would say, Lisa, I need a photo of you, a headshot, and I need some photos that I can use for my show notes and also for our banners. And I know you'll send me some links, or Cameron will send me some links of photos, but I want to shoot the hooch picture.
I
Gotta
got
have a
one.
shoot the
Yes,
gotta
we
have a
can
shoot the hooch. All
definitely
right.
get that to you.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. I'm gonna stop sharing and we're gonna go back And there you are. And I'm gonna make that smaller. Okay, so now, Lisa, you held up that mug before, so let's bring it front and center so we can see it. Okay, hold it up just over that way a little bit. There we go. Okay, okay, very cool. Now, what is the remind me of the mug?
It's a thank you from the location team at the from Ozark for all the work that we did on season 4.
I love it.
Uh, if you ever noticed, Ozark, um, they drove a lot on Ozark. They were constantly in the car, and all those were road work shots where they had to close a road or close part of a road, and it takes a lot of moving parts to make that happen. And so we worked with our locations team, and we closed a lot of roads in season 4. So they just sent us a little appreciation, which we loved.
I love that. Yeah, having lived in Chicago, I remember road closures and like I can't go down the street. No, we're filming. And like, oh man, then it's so. How do the locals feel about all this?
About filming,
About the filming and, "Oh, I can't go down that road," or they just "Look, this is why we love it here," I would imagine.
I think there's always someone who is not happy that they have to take a detour, but I will say that we try to be really thoughtful. We require them to create a traffic plan before we would approve any closure.
Mhm.
And we make sure that if there's a detour, that it is a short detour. Like it has to be within like a mile. We're not
Right.
going to expect people to drive 5 or 7 miles away and throw off their commute. That's not fair. So we try to keep our alternative routes very, very short. We also typically try to approve closures not between, say, like 7 and 9 a.m. and not between 4 and 6:30 so that nobody who's in rush hour traffic gets stuck.
Mhm.
We always encourage after hours, but sometimes that doesn't work because it's a daytime shoot. But I think most people are pretty excited about it. I mean, we have like we have hundreds of homes in our locations gallery because people are really interested in it. And we have a lot of filming in particular areas. Downtown historic Norcross, which is one of our downtown cities. It's a beautiful city. It's the entire city's on the downtown is on the National Register of Historic Places. It's full of Victorian homes. It's got a super cute downtown. It's got 3 parks, all the things. So it's our busiest location for filming. Their neighborhood has very much for the most part embraced it.
Mhm.
Um, they know how it works, and honestly, it's financially, they if a business is if they are interrupted or if a home, if they're gonna be operating later into the evening, a lot of times the production crews will offer an inconvenience fee. So it can result in a little bit of money, so that's always good. But I
Mhm.
think people think it's kind of cool. It's something a little bit different. You actually get to see it in action, and I think people are always in awe about what it takes because you'll see filming in like a private home and it's 3 days, a day of prep, a day of filming, and a day of strike, which means that's when they're breaking down everything. That's like for 1 2-minute scene.
Sure.
And then there's 30 other times they need to do that to make an hour of television. And then there's 13 episodes they have to do. I think it opens people's eyes up to how much work and how professional of an industry it is
Mhm.
in order to actually bring a TV show to your screen.
Sure, sure. So I'm curious, as we kind of come towards the close of this episode, if you have an opportunity to stand up in front of a crowd of folks who have never experienced the hospitality that Gwinnett County has to offer, what's your elevator pitch to them?
Bring your tennis shoes and come on an empty stomach.
Okay. That's good. Short.
Really, that we really, that's kind of what we're known for is our outdoor experiences. And especially because so many of them are not expensive, it's even better. But really the food scene is something that has got garnered us so much attention over the last 2 years, especially our Korean food scene.
Mm.
Like our Soul of the South food tours, we talk about those. We started those almost 10 years ago, and we do anywhere between 6 and 8 of them a year, and we have never not sold one out in 10 years, and we typically sell all of them out at one time in, like, one day.
Well, very nice.
And
Very
because of
nice.
that, we created, like, a DIY tour so that even if you can't be up here for a tour, we kind of create a path for you and some recommendations for you because just that authentic Korean food scene is it's fantastic. And even if you
Sure.
don't like Korean food, I'm pretty sure you will find something that you love because there's like you said, there's bakeries, there's coffee shops, there's street food, there's barbecue, there's literally everything.
Excellent. Perfect. Well, I think you have made a compelling argument, and Cameron, the website you have all helped create is phenomenal, and uh, I'm I'm ready. Just get on an airplane, and there's burgers await. I love it. Now, I know we visited the website, but just once again, if our listeners would like to learn more about uh, Gwinnett County and explore Gwinnett, the organization, where are the best places to go, Lisa?
Either our website, which is just exploregwinnett.org, or our Instagram feed, which is also at Explore Gwinnett. Both of them different content, but all focused on a lot of you'll see a lot of food on our Instagram feed too.
Excellent.
That is a big focus. And you can, as Cameron mentioned, request a visitor magazine. On our website, we have coupons that you can download on our website. And obviously, our event calendar can help them plan a great weekend if they're just coming to Atlanta or if they want to just come directly into Gwinnett.
Excellent, and, I love it, so we will provide the in our show notes, the website for, Explore Gwinnett, and we also have the Facebook page and the Instagram page, and if there's any other social sites, we'll have backlinks, and we'll do a couple of the backlinks to some of the, highlighted destinations and experiences that you have also shared on the website. Lisa, it's a pleasure to have you on the podcast, thank you for your time and obviously energy. Cameron, thank you for taking us on a tour. It's been this episode has been a great addition to the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast, and we are grateful for your time today.
Thank you so much for inviting us. I appreciate it. And if you're in the mood for either Burger Week, Korean food, or beer, let us know and we will set you up with a good visit if you're coming into town.
Fantastic. By the way, I can podcast on location too, so just in case. But again, thank you for your time and stay in the line. We're going to do a quick close and then we can have a final chat. Okay.
Thank you, Howard.
All right. Okay, folks, we've just been chatting with Lisa Anders, the COO of Explore Gwinnett Tourism. And we've also joined us on today's call is Cameron Trice. She took us on a kind of a little tour of the website. So we appreciate her time as well. What a phenomenal destination. And I'm like blown away by the fact that some of my favorite TV shows where I thought were like Tulsa King, you would think, or Ozarks, you would think it's been produced in Gwinnett County. And it's like, wow. But all that food, the good beer, the burgers, the soul of the South, what a phenomenal way to spend, I think you could spend weeks there, but definitely up if you're up for a long weekend, get some good food, events, and just enjoy yourselves. Now, we're going to provide again the backlinks to the Explore Gwinnett website at exploregwinnett.org, as well as the Facebook and Instagram links. As for us, you can find this episode on our website, outdooradventureseries.com. We also have our Outdoor Adventure Series pages on LinkedIn and Facebook. The video and this entire episode will also be published on our YouTube channel, and you'll be able to navigate with us on the tour that Cameron was taking us on the website. And of course, wherever you listen to your podcast, just do a search for Outdoor Adventure Series. And remember, where possible, we love likes, comments, and sharing, and especially 5-star reviews. All right. So until next time, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, go out there, have a phenomenal day. And we look forward to having you join us on a future episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast. Take care now.